Another name of 3D printing is rapid prototyping. So this prototyping method has been invented like 40 years ago, as of now. So and it was patented in a particular technology, and then after that, just to make it in a public domain, a new method which is known as fuse deposition modeling. In that thing, what happens that a filament like material, which is a plastic filament, and it goes to a hot end, and that melts it, and layer by layer, your product is going to be formed, and it is not going to generate any waste comparative to other methods. It is very cheap. It uses plastic rather than biodegradable plastic, what we call as polylactic acid, and it has a very cost effective method. And there are more than 65 types of plastic, ranging from right from a melting point of 100 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius, which actually covers almost 80 to 90% of the manufacturing requirement if you go for it. So definitely it doesn't matter which field you are from. If you are manufacturing a hardware, then definitely prototyping is the way out to reduce the cost of the product overall. So definitely rapid prototyping comes handy in that. In international market, if you see, like I can take the example of Spain itself, where the Spain or Italy for that matter. In Italy, the maximum number of death happened during the first lockdown period of our planet, basically. And out there, they were very desperate for emergency solutions. For ventilators, they were actually using splitters. So splitter is something in which they use a method of distributive process. They use one machine for two patients, or three patients, or many patients. So by one machine, you are going to address 4 5 emergencies at a particular time, and that particular splitter can be printed through 3D printing process. Now in India, what was the problem? That people actually innovated this thing, but ICMR, which is Indian Council of Medical Research, they didn't have time enough to track down how many ventilators are available. And already it was the operation of hospitals in India was already botched up. So they were concentrating on a sustainability method, where they never actually attended much of the emergency patients. And they were actually going with a sustainable method in which they were addressing one patient, uh, one ventilator per patient. So that was one thing. And then obviously the face shield has been one of the best thing what has been happening in India. People are distributing face shield, and face shield is something which can be customized according to the size of the particular human. So that has been doing. And what I think what India could have implemented at a very faster rate was the power of 3D printing, because there are many 3D printers. Let us say there are as of now, by the estimate, there are more than 5 to 6 lakh 3D printer equipments in India. People are owners. So let us say there was a design, and it can be circulated to all of the operators, and then after that they print it. So this decentralization of printing could have addressed it in a much faster manner. They could have distributed the splitter, or maybe the face shield or the face mask, that could have been 3D printed locally, and locally it could have been distributed, which was not there. Only 5 6 3D printing manufacturer companies were actually operating. Many of them were in the south, few were in the north, but they were the only ones who were supplying these materials. And obviously, yeah, and the first, last, and the very important one was collecting the samples. Just to collect the sample, you need a cheek cell, or you need the mucus cell in your nose. So for that thing, you actually need a swab. So it's a pin like thing which goes in. So the doctor will come, and he will take your sample. So that swab can be printed through 3D printing technology named as SLA, stereolithography. That is a very simple method which is used in jewelry method, and for a fine detailed part, if you want to make it, then that 3D printed swab can be made through that process. So yeah, so this was these were few things which were being addressed, and it's really good. I would have been happier if I would have witnessed this splitters being implemented through 3D printing. Yeah. So for 5 hospitals, let us say there is a requirement of 200 face shields. Okay, and you have 5 machines, and one face shield takes like about half an hour to print. So definitely you can address that thing within a period of like 3 days. You can actually deliver them. Okay. Now the thing is that if you have a very much bigger requirement, then through traditional process, what happens that you have to create cast. Let us say injection molding. In injection molding, you have to create cast, and that particular cast is going to cost you more than 2 lakh rupees. For a minor part of a size of 6 inch, that costs around 70 to 80,000 rupees, the cost of that. And if you go for a larger material in which you are going to create the frame, a particular frame, and for that thing you are going to create a cast, that is going to cost you around 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees. That's why 3D printing is very handy in that. Global 3D labs, I will talk about. So in Hyderabad, Mumbai, and Bangalore, so these people actually customize the face shield according to the requirement of traffic police. For traffic police, there was a different size. For women, it was different size. So according to the people, they actually made a set of like 7, 8 sizes, and for each size, they have supplied approximately 2 to 3 thousand face shields. So that is what they have done, and that was really exciting for me to actually see. So, and this is a learning curve, and from this thing, all the micro entrepreneurs in 3D printing industry or the manufacturing industry should understand that they have to actually explore the areas out there, out from their field. They have to know what the perfect requirement, what the precise requirement of the customer is from the healthcare. So which was actually absent in maximum of the companies. Only few of the companies who had the approach till the police, they could get the permission to work during this crisis, and this was an extra effort. So obviously there should be a bureaucratic help also for the micro entrepreneurs where they can actually work on the ground. But at least for now, it is only the effort from the entrepreneur side, from the enterprise side, that they have to work proactively. A manufacturing company which is actually trying to create a hardware, uh, you need to go through iterations. So for those iterations, you can't actually keep putting the money into the well of that. And that's a deep well. When you have to research it properly, then you have to go through many iterations. So for that thing, definitely 3D printing comes very handy. Talk about medical sector, dental sector, jewelry. uh, the main power of 3D printing in this thing is that you can customize your design at a very low cost. As a consultant, on my personal professional level, what I am doing is concentrating is on education, the manufacturing education. That is what I am concentrating on. I would talk about the manufacturers. I would actually try to appeal all the manufacturers through the platform of Showcase India, that you people should actually collaborate with people from who are not belonging to your sector. Let us say you are actually concentrating your maximum of your business in automobile sector, then definitely you should actually move into aerospace sector also. You should move your purview into health sector also, because out there must be some requirement which you people can address. Many a times what happens that a packaging company is going to address only the packaging of a cold drink company, but many a times what happens that packaging is also an issue for Amazon. Okay. So in that manner I am talking. So you never know your manufacturing method, your setup, where it is going to be very handy for a particular customer out there. So try to explore as many sectors as possible as a manufacturer, and be open to accept interns in your company. So once you accept interns from various backgrounds, what happens is you get the insight of the market also, and that is an indirect way of marketing your product also. So that actually spreads the word out there in many sectors. So that is one method. So these two things is something what I would actually say. And definitely while marketing through Showcase India is one of the best platform which has actually showed me the way that how you can represent your product. So the 3D way of presenting a product is a very good thing. What Showcase India is the only company what I have seen till now is doing.